everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing another cooking video for you. I'm combining 3 different recipes for this. So they're kind of, 2 of them are both centered around ranch vegetables. So there's a cheesy ranch squash original recipe and then a ranch baby carrot recipe. And I personally just don't really like baby carrots. I like the big long original carrots and then I'll cut them myself. So you're going to need carrots, and then any kind of squash or zucchini that you want. So I have a yellow squash and a zucchini, and I'm using both of those. You're gonna need some olive oil, either a packet of ranch, or if you have the big containers or something like that, or you can make it on your own, just ranch seasoning. Garlic powder, onion powder, and then this is optional. I found that when I made the cheesy ranch zucchini with actual Parmesan, it didn't keep well. It didn't reheat well and it just got really soggy for some reason. So I'm gonna try making it with the grated Parmesan. That's probably not even really Parmesan, but I'm gonna try this and see if I like it. But honestly, I've made it without the cheese and I like it that way too. So all you're gonna do is cut these up any way that you want. The first time I made this, I did like little sticks of vegetables. This time I'm gonna make them round. I've made the squash round before, but never the carrots. And also, if you look at the original recipes, which I will link below, the carrots and the squash cook at different temperatures. I'm gonna try just combining them, and if the carrots don't cook all the way soft, I'm okay with that. All right, so I've now cut up the yellow squash, zucchini, and carrots. I did peel the carrots before I cut them. And what I'm gonna do now is just toss these with olive oil, salt, pepper, and then the seasonings. So I'm gonna kind of eyeball this just because I don't want to put too much. One time I did put too much when I made this and it was not very good. I'm gonna start with 2 tablespoons of the ranch seasoning and then kind of just eyeball the garlic and onion powder just a little bit because garlic and onion powder are already in the ranch seasoning. And then I'm gonna do the cheese last. So now I have all of the vegetables onto the baking dish or baking tray. I just lined this with nonstick aluminum foil. I ended up tossing the vegetables in maybe like 1.5 tablespoons of oil, but maybe not even that much. Honestly, I just eyeball it because it doesn't really matter. It's just based on the vegetables you have. I ended up using probably right around 2 tablespoons of the ranch and then maybe 1/4 teaspoon of garlic and onion powder. But as I said before, I don't want too much. Now I'm just gonna put a little bit of the cheese on top, but not too much. Okay, I also added a little bit of the shakeable cheese. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I know for sure it's probably going to do better than actual Parmesan just because this cheese is a little bit dried out, so it's not going to add too much moisture. So I'm going to preheat my oven to 375 because that was the lowest temperature out of the 3 things that we're going to be making. And I'm just going to watch it. It's probably going to be around 15 to 20 minutes, but yeah, so I'm gonna pop this in the oven and we'll get started on potatoes. Okay, so the vegetables are in the oven and now we're gonna get started on potatoes. So I just have this bag of baby potatoes. They're purple and all sorts of colors. So I'm just gonna use that. And this is a 1.5 pound bag. The original recipe calls for 3 pounds, so I'm just gonna cut it in half and hope for the best. You're going to need some olive oil, garlic. You could definitely use fresh garlic, but this is what I have on hand today. Some red onion, not this much, just some. And then some rosemary, and I'm only probably going to use 1 sprig of that. So all the potatoes I just quartered and then tossed with olive oil, garlic, the red onion, and the rosemary. So I did end up using 1 sprig of the rosemary, probably like 1.5 big spoons of onion, and 2 big spoonfuls of garlic because I love a lot of garlic. The only thing I don't have on here right now is salt and pepper. I'm about to do that. And then these are gonna pop in the oven when the veggies are done. I'm gonna up the temp to 425 and they're gonna cook for probably 15 to 20 minutes. The squash and carrots are done. Now the carrots are not super chewy. There's a little bit of crunch to them, but they're definitely cooked. So I like them this way. If you want them fully cooked and more soft, you're gonna need to cook them separately, probably at I don't know, like 400 instead of 375. The squash was always supposed to be cooked at 375, and the squash came out perfect. I think the seasonings are pretty spot on, and as far as I can tell, the Parmesan didn't add a ton of flavor. It's definitely there, but it didn't make it super soggy or anything. So hopefully it keeps better than using real Parmesan. And it might have been that I had just used too much cheese before, but this definitely worked for what I wanted it to, and I think the flavor is really amazing on this. Okay, the potatoes just came out of the oven and they are perfect. They cooked at 425 for right around 25 minutes, and they're just perfect. So, which makes sense because the original recipe was 3 pounds for like 45 minutes, and this recipe was halved. It smells so amazing. I wish that you guys could smell this through the camera right now or through the computer screen, but oh my goodness. So that is it. Just a quick little video on how to make ranch squash and carrots and then roasted garlic rosemary potatoes. And generally I would eat these with some kind of fish. I really like making salmon, so usually I'd pair it with this, but honestly you can just eat them together on their own, and the flavor combinations complement each other pretty well. So that is it for the video today. Thank you for watching.